elsewhere, and this one is the senator is the superintendent of the vineyards, and so the whole of the inside of the tomb is made to look like a grape arbor. But the ceiling is really, and the colors are perfect, and some of the reliefs in there, painted reliefs, are absolutely magnificent. Rekhmera is much more damaged, but it has a lot of interesting things of sort of Eastern nations, and I think Cypriots even, Greeks bringing certain kinds of tribute. And another interesting a picture of them seemingly sliding blocks up ramps made of mud brick, which is thought to be the way they built these temples, and I've always sort of said, I don't see how they could do it that way, and but you know, what you see is what you get. So there's this one relief, it's the only one I know of that seems to show that. I don't know. You know, jury's still out, but there it is. When it's evidence, whether you like it or not.
You're talking about the other two, the next one,
Rekhmera,
Rekhmera.
yeah.
And Rekhmera also was a minister, very important. Nobles here had many titles, high officials. Minister of King Amenhotep III,
Right.
and another king too. Sometimes they served more than one pharaoh. And there are very interesting scenes of animals from Africa.
Change?
You know, elephant has, giraffes, zebras, and lions. You know, ostriches.
Your camera?
And actually, John, Oliver, it's too bad you only get two tombs to a ticket, because there's another tomb here, and I'd forgotten that it was here, but it doesn't, you can't choose which two they're on a ticket. There's one called Userhet, and that has a very vivid relief there, or painting, which I forget if it's carved or just painted, that shows a driver. It must be, you know, where Uspensky Gurdjieff talk about the horse and the carriage, and the horse is the emotions, and the carriage is the body vehicle, and the driver is the driver, etc. And there's one thing there that shows, and it's got to be the same teaching of the horse is kind of wandering around in the field, and the driver asleep by the roadside, and the horse. Really, it's got to come from there, and that's
Interesting.
New Kingdom.
Interesting.
New Kingdom.
Early Christianity.
Yeah. So it's there, and very hard to imagine that it doesn't mean that it's, you know, it just happened, just accidental.
Is there no way of paying to see that tomb?
Yeah, there is, but you have to buy another ticket to begin
And
with.
it's far, and we have the temple right next to it, and the tombs with the whole site, the area will shut soon. I mean, when we finish, it will be about closing.
Yeah, I'd actually forgotten, you know, we could have even done it had I thought, I'd forgotten that it was up here, because it would have been easy enough to get two tickets. I don't know which other one is on Userhet, but...
But these are two amazing ones. When
I know,
they
but this is a particular one with a particular teaching that's of specific interest to everyone but you.
Because we talked to the guys, and we can spare some other
Oh, she
time.
gets even. She gets
Mr.
even.
Hadford, she's good. عايزين ندخل.
نفس التذكرة؟
Shyla?
مش هينفع أصل التذكرة ب 40 اللي تحت هنا ب 30.
أنا عايزة أدخل بس الحات أبص على حاجة واحدة وأمشي.
لوحدك؟
لا.
لا.
5.
مش هينفع أصل
نو.
في تذكرة مستقلة 30 و40.
تحت 40.
40 لو نزل واحدة بس.
إيه؟
يعني حتى لو نزلت أزر حات بس أو كرم هات برضو 40.
كرم حات is the second one to أزر حات. كرم
هات أزر حات
Yeah, I
ورموزة.
forget that.
ثلاثة دول ب 40 جنيه. ثلاثة ب 40 جنيه.
Ramosa is part of the deal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for 40
Because that's
pounds.
all the way down. What?
Yes, it's down.
How many pounds?
40.
How much was this one? 40 also?
30. D30.
30 2.
2.
Anyway, is it okay if we talk down there?
Yeah, ممكن
Yeah.
نتكلم نشرح.
Well, it says.
No, because you're not supposed to.
ما هو ما فيش
They're
حد بتاع.
negotiating.
But
إحنا
nobody,
بنعمل
you
كده
know,
عشان
practically
الجايزة
no
لما
one
بيقفوا
comes up here
طابور
except
مش أكتر.
lunatics like us. So.
ما هو اتعلمت بعدين هي
آه.
كانت الاول عشان الزحمه
آه.
والسيستم شغال
طيب
والناس
كم
كتير.
حاجة مش شرح. You explain here
كلمتين
and we
باختصار
point up.
بس باختصار.
Well, it's hard to
Abbreviation.
explain here because I forget what it is till I see it.
Yeah,
But-
well you
Yeah,
point
we
us
know that.
there.
Right.
ها عشان الواحد بينسى المقبرة فيها ايه. It's the
Because they're
wife. It's the wife and Sunufer together.
I know, but the specific there, I remember that there are specific
Senate.
aspects of it, and I don't remember what they are until I get there.
That
And
let's-
but anyway,
let's-
we'll play it by ear, and the main thing is the general overall hit of it. I mean, you know, if you're going to die, you might as well have a really decent tomb, and this is kind of cool. You know.
Can anybody break a 200-pound?
Why?
Because I wanted to pay for
You can pay
Wink Wink.
him for the two later. He's the same guy for the two.
Oh, is it? So I
Yeah.
can give him 20 for both.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or maybe a few of you
Get
put
together.
together and pay one big bill and then do it together later. Deal together.
I've got a
Take it
20.
each other. Yalla ya John.
Yalla.
Getting all the sheep holders on one place.
Remember you said it's hard out, you're like, boop. It's like, goddamn.
I'll be smaller. They had to cart a dead body down here.
Probably some ridiculous sarcophagus.
Yeah. I bet they carved the sarcophagus down here.
You think that's what they did in the other ones?
No, I don't know.
Those were some big son of bitches.
بص في حاجة عنده حاجة ايه؟ لو واحد معاش فاهم صور هنا هديك 20 هصور زي في البلد
What's portrayed?
Okay.
Food. Us.
We're gonna pay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it, why did I bring that?
You see you know, that, I mean, it's much more work, actually, to leave it rough like this than it is to smooth it.
It looks like a
Well,
cockpit.
sure, because we just smooth it evenly, and when it's left rough, then you have to paint it, which is a nightmare to paint. You look, you see how carefully it's painted well, and also that goes around the curves. And I mean, look at the line, how it follows down there. That's much more difficult to do than it would be if it were just a fine ceiling. Here you see actually like the solar boat, but it's not as big a boat. You see it on this sail, the big square sail, and the steering oars in the water. Yeah, fairly. big a climb. I think twice before I do it again. You guys are lucky. Look at the way they've left. How they probably, boulders were coming out as they were excavating, as they were excavating it, and so they, smooth everything off and paint it into the crevices and things. This is really cool. And also, actually, when you're here, see the tombs.
Thank you.
Tombs that we're in this morning are, a single shaft going all the way down. Well, I mean, not much light goes from the entrance down into the tomb, but still, you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. Here, you can't. So the question then comes, how do they do it? And there are tombs that are much, much deeper than this.
There's no carbon.
And there's no carbon anywhere. And there are tombs even more extreme than this, where it goes 4 or 5 times as far and goes around corners and stuff like that. And these are questions that, if these people were serious scholars, they would acknowledge that this is a very big mystery and would at least acknowledge it and look into it. And they don't. Oh well, they nerds or they lit something, but no, it's otherwise we'd have. We lit candles in here. We lit torches. One, you'd run out of air pretty quickly, and 2, you'd see something. It's carbon on the ceilings.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Point to all of these, of course, are senator. Who's a high official, so he has a little sort of goatee. He doesn't play the feral on his beard.
So
And that presumably is his wife. Offering him. Cool.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's not a lotus. I don't know what that is. Some kind of elaborate flower. It's not a lotus flower. What else we done here? Oh, here's the that should be Newton. Sometimes there's a. Oh yeah, there she is. There's. It's sometimes Newton. Sometimes. Who is it? Let's see. Does it say who's in the tree? Oh, I can't read it. Oh, it must be Isis. There's the Isis sign. So it's Isis in the tree. What exactly the significance of that is, I'm not sure. But it's a common theme that gets repeated often in the tombs. Let's see, what do we have over here? So first, sniffing lotus flower. Looks like white offering linen of some sort.
What period is this?
This is, I think, 18th dynasty. Let's see if we see a cartoon sign. They can read. Let's see which pharaoh it is. I think it's.
Interesting, just these patterns are very interesting.
Which pattern are you talking about?
Like these, I haven't seen.
Oh
these
yeah,
yet.
yeah. Well, that's again. That's the geometric patterns are here. You could say that those are water. That's
right.
water. But what the squares are, all kinds of other ones, geometric patterns. And those go back into deep antiquity, and they're common in lots and lots of different societies. And they're cosmological in some sense or another. They're geometric and they're particular proportions, and the numbers count. And we don't really know why they're doing it the way they're doing it, but they know. Of that we can be sure. Look at the way the lines go. I mean, this is brilliant. And I forget, not having been up here in a few years, how brilliant it is. Priest in cheetah skin, pouring water of life over Senefer. Presumably that's his wife behind him. Oh, she's holding, she's carrying the what do you call it? The sistrum, the instrument of Hathor, with the head of Hathor on it. And you see the instrument itself, see the bangles on it? in the loop. There are 3 strands and little copper jingles that go.
Bueno, you close the door.
Too late, and he's still I think people live in here.
Oh, they are. Oh, the one yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try and
They
get
were
some
pretty
help.
intense. Those
And
guys.
I went in and he had nice things, but I couldn't make up my mind. He kept asking me, and I couldn't.
Thanks, Carlos.
I don't know what But then.
Do you see something? Can I tell you something?
Yes, talk.
Look, there are people who are dark. Look at this leopard being led and a fox. But look, there are some blonde people. See the blonde?
Wow.
Blonde, and then there is red hair. Huh? So he's talking about different races, as it was the time, the period of many campaigns around. Look, a blonde with dark skin. Yeah, skin, hairstyle, costume. Look at the costume here, typical African. Look at the baboon, the elephant, the ostrich feather, mite feather. See, lean, mite feather.
Oh, and what are the hair? What are those hair? What's the sandwich?
Oh, a giraffe.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
Over there.
and giraffe. Look, the bearded guys, horses. Look at the horses.
yeah.
Look at the hat he's wearing.
This is right before the Hyksos.
Yeah. Yeah, after Hyksos.
After Hyksos.
The Hyksos imported the whole.
Right.
Look at the baboons. Look at the animals.
Here's the giraffe.
Stand back.
Yeah. Look at the. Oh my God! Bringing them punished. Somebody punished. You see, beating somebody. Usually they're there. Somebody's kissing the ground. Hey, John.
Here's your dog,
The
John.
hell would do that?
John.
Here's your dog.
Here is Sabo.
Let's see.
Many Sabos.
Wait, let's see. I don't think they are samples.
No?
Let's see.
But it looks nice. It says Saluki. Saluki.
They're Salukis, yeah.
Saluki.
They're Salukis, which are the Persian greyhounds.
This is an 18th dynasty, isn't it? Oh wow.
Just the menagerie, just the zoo. The other room. All the animals. The other room where it's a little
Look,
less.
guys, you are in a typical 18th dynasty, Amenhotep II date. And look at how much gold there is. See the richness. This is all gold. And, you know, cat. Now,
Is this second?
yeah, he said second. I think third. I think third. Because there is a Jehotim too. See? Jehotim. Yeah? Let's see the other side.
But what?
Do you want to see this side, please? Look at the cat.
Less noise, please.
Less noise.
Less noise, please, because you can't talk. You want to make
You obviously understand the high
John, just look. Statue making. Come and see the statue making. See? The stages of statue making. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the laborers.
And they're
That's good.
they've drawn it, but they haven't finished it.
Right. And here are a couple different posture and sphinxes. Sphinxes by the order. Not here. Here. Standing with the staff, but it's gone. Rubbed off. It's inside. There's more inside. Yeah. Look, they are working in the fields. See? They are harvesting the wheat, harvesting, winnowing. Here is Nehemiah John with his wife and children, right here. In front of the, and here he too. Mesh. Look at the gazelles and filling the wine in the jars. Oh, wine making, John, look. They're picking the grapes and they are juicing it. Look, and they have ropes so they really press. Look, somebody's filling the grapes into the basin. Yeah. And look at the workmanship. You know. What's your job? Okay, there is carpenter. Look at Nehemiah John overseeing all the work. See? Look at the pool with fish.
Oh, I love that.
Look
I've
at the
never
boats.
seen that.
And the boats.
With the sails up, so they're going,
Cooking.
they're going south.
Building.
The sails down.
Carpenter is making back. That's also, oh, John, here, John. The ramp.
Yeah, this is the one. Yes, this is.
Everybody, let's listen to John in this one, please.
This is, much as I hate and to acknowledge it, because they always say, the academics, that the way they built these temples was to keep building up mud brick on the inside and up, and they were pulling the parts of the, you know, let's say the pillar, what do you call them, the blocks of the columns up the ramp and getting them into place. This always seemed to me hopelessly crude for the Egyptian intellect, but here this is what you seem to see. Here are the mud bricks, there are the columns in the process of being put up, and we're here. You have the blocks being towed up or being brought up into the column. So until somebody comes along and proves that this is something else, and I might say, I don't know if it's that would be something for somebody to decode. It looks as though that's how they're doing it. I just want to consider that's how they're doing it.
And here is Nehemiah watching and, watching all the work done. There is an offering scene too, and look, the king, very mummified king. There is a beautiful scene, and there is they slide the coffin, take it somewhere. It's a beautiful scene. Everywhere. Totally.
They're on this wall. Around the big figures.
Who's doing this? Why is he doing this? فيها رئيس بتعرف ليه؟
It's careful. And my guess is that it's not intentional, it's just, who knows? When it's intentional, usually it's quite careful.
I know this. This is invented here, John. This is goddess of the West. She's goddess of the West. That's John West and Osiris. John, all the three gods here are to the necropolis. Invented, Anubis, and Osiris.
Right.
But here he is. Yeah. Here, Ra having a banquet, all of them.
Yeah.
Banquets.
Oh yeah, there's one I'm looking for on the outside.
But let's see it.
Okay guys, let's
go to the
go.
temple.
Very nice.
Wow, did you see guys the and they have a boat. This is a very famous scene, John West. What is this here, John? It always startled me, this one. This one. Someone wrapped in a place. Do you see? She's wrapped. This one. Very Sahar. It's called the Esher or
Never saw it. I never saw something like that before. There are two of them. Something specific, 5 to 1.
Is that where the tomb was?
The tomb what? Up there?
Here.
Oh, my musicians! And look at the lotus sniffing. Oh, girls! The girls are having a lot of girly day. Girly day. Do you see her what? She's oh, the girls are lotus sniffing. She has a what? A jello kind of.
Yeah, she does, it's nice.
Jello. Up here. See the boats. Bring it out.
That's neat up there with the harp. The musicians. That's brilliant. I never noticed that before. That's wonderful. And you see, that's, you know, that's a pretty sophisticated harp.
It's a
And the
beautiful
stringed instrument. And
It's called Jibbit. Jibbit harp. I know a guy who recreated that based on some.
Elvis.
yeah,
It kind of